Hi, today we're going to do some training for first grade Set F Art Vista project tie-dye. So this is where the students each tie-dye their own t-shirt. Oftentimes at the end of the year when the kids go on a walking field trip to the playground, they'll all wear their tie-dye t-shirts, so it's a really fun project. For this project, we supply these tie-dye kits for you. Even though it says it does 36 shirts, each class gets 2 of these just to make sure that you have enough ink and enough colors and enough supplies. Inside each kit are gloves, some sets of gloves, and the gloves we recommend are worn by the Art Vista docent and the helpers that are helping administrate this project. They're the ones that would get ink on their hands, actually. And then there's rubber bands included in here, so the kids are going to tie their shirts up in the classroom before they go outside to do the dyeing. So let me get into that. Also, you're going to need to grab your t-shirts, and these are available in the Art Vista closet. You just grab as many as you think you need, large, medium, and small for the kids in your class. So that'll take a little bit of preparation to see which ones you need. Those are provided for you. Also in the Art Vista closet is a bin of extra rubber bands because there's not always enough rubber bands in the tie-dye kits, so you'll need extras to provide to the kids. This is just a sample of what one looks like. This was a bullseye design, and you'll see on this one there's no tag, but the name of the child is written on the inside collar. It can either be written on the tag or the inside collar, and that's done with a Sharpie pen. So make sure that you write the child's name on the tag or the inside of the collar. And I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration on some techniques that you can illustrate to the kids on how they prepare their shirts for the dyeing process. Actually, in the tie-dye kit is this instruction sheet, so it's a good idea to look over this. We recommend 3 different tying techniques that are easy for the first graders to do, but if you want to teach them some other ones, that's up to you, or if you have some favorites yourself, you can do that. If you look in the Art Vista project description, it has an illustration and photos on how to do these 3. So in addition to this video description, it's also illustrated in the project. So there's 3 different ways. The first one is, let's say we're going to do bullseye, and this is what it looks like when it's all tied, so you really need just 3 or 4 rubber bands for this one. So the child finds the center of the shirt, which in this case right about here, and picks it up like this, and then literally just puts a band right there and another band an inch or 2 below that one, and a 3rd rubber band below that one. And the helpers and the docent can just make sure that the rubber bands are pretty tight. If they're loose, this area won't, you don't want the ink to get into the area where the rubber band is. That's what creates the spiral effect. So this is the first one, and that is bullseye. That creates the shirt like I showed you, that sample shirt. The second one is starburst. So you'll see that this is the end result, and there's several different places where the shirt's been pinched and the rubber band has been just put on tightly with an inch of fabric showing like that, and they can do as many as they want on the shirt. And to do that, obviously you just take the shirt and the child pinches the areas and puts a rubber band wherever they choose to have it. You can do anything from 4 or 5 to 6 or 7 of the pinches on the shirt. So again, that you just can demonstrate that in the front of the room for the kids. They can decide if they're going to want to do bullseye, starburst, or the 3rd one is spiral. And for the spiral, again, they find the center of the shirt and pinch it and turn and twist the shirt, and it literally just creates a spiral. This one's a little trickier for the kids, so they would probably need some help from a parent or a docent, I'm sure, to do this one. And it literally, you just create this spiral like that. You can look at the back and see it's all folded and twisted, and then the rubber bands go around the outside of this. like so. You usually need 3 or 4 rubber bands to secure this one for the spiral. So then these are the 3 that we recommend. If you look at the instruction sheet,
creates like quadrants on that one. As you can see right.
This is the bullseye here, and then starburst is.
You can see how it creates quadrants. Oops, right here. So then you put the ink in the different sides.
Yeah, for spiral. Oh, this is spiral. Yeah.
Spiral, yeah.
Yeah. So you can.
Bullseye's next one on your left.
And this is bullseye, yeah. And then starburst is down here. Starburst.
And it gives you the directions there as well.
So you can read them on this instruction sheet that comes in the kit, or you can read them on the Art Vista project outline as well. Once the child has tied their shirt, we have the tie-dye station set up outside in the lunch table area. So near the black tops where you have all the lunch tables there. In between the lunch tables are garbage cans, and they have large black liners in them at any given time during the school day. So that's where we do the setup for the tie-dye. So we usually recommend that you take the kids out in groups of 3. So that if the kid is called, then they'll bring their shirt out to the picnic tables where you have this tie-dye station set up. You have to do some preparation to add water to all the different dye bottles, but at this point the kid can choose the colors that they want for their shirt. They will squirt the dye onto the shirt, and the shirt is held by the helpers and the docents, and that's why they need the helpers need to wear gloves, because they're holding the shirt over the middle of the large garbage can, and the child will be squirting the dye onto the shirt. It's important to tell the kids sometimes you need to stick the point of the dye into these folds to make sure there's not a big white blob in the middle. You really want the dye to saturate it. You can turn it over and have them do it on the other side. On this bullseye, they generally like to do each section a different color, and make sure you get a lot of ink around the rubber band area so that you create that circle effect. And then also on this starburst one, make sure the ink, it's kind of fun if they do different colors on the different tips, and then they can just fill in the other area with different colors that they choose. Once the shirt has been dyed, the parent helper takes it, and there's plastic bags available in the Art Vista closet. There we go. They have their gloves on so they can hold the dyed shirt, and they stick it into these individual plastic bags. And usually you can just go like this and throw these into a large plastic bin. The ink has to stay on them for several hours. I think it's a minimum of something like 3 to 6 hours. So after all the kids have come through and dyed their shirt, we put them in these plastic bags and throw them in a bin. The docent or whoever's designated to take the shirts home does so, and they should sit for many hours. And later that day, or they could even wait till the next morning, it's okay. You take each shirt out, cut all the bands off, run it under cold water in a sink until all that extra dye runs out of it. And then the shirts that have been squeezed and rinsed, it usually takes a couple minutes for each shirt to really rinse that extra ink out. Then they can all be put into a wash load of cold water. So all 30 shirts go into one laundry wash, cold water, dry them, fold them, and then you can deliver them to the classroom. And then generally the teacher sends them home with the kids sometime between then and the end of the year, and asks that they wear them to that special day that's the last week of school when they go to the playground. Again, just don't forget to have the child's name written in Sharpie on the tag so that we can show whose is whose. It's really fun when the shirts are done and when you're delivering them to the class. I usually ask the teacher, can we do the unveiling? Can I unfold every shirt and read the kid's name and hold them up and show the whole class. So, you know, you could do it in 20 minutes. Just ask the teacher for a time slot when you can do that, and they love to see all the different shirts. Everyone's totally unique and different. These tie-dye kits are amazing. The ink stays really well for many years of washing. So it's a great fun project. Good luck with it.